You look around you. Technology hums at every fingertip. Screens glow in every room, and data streams faster than any human eye can follow. Yet, despite all this capability, we stumble over the same old problems: inequality, injustice, climate change, violence. We map the human genome, yet struggle to map our own compassion. We've split the atom, yet can't contain our destructive impulses. There is a paradox in this era. We reach outward with extraordinary tools, yet too often fail to reach inward. And above all, when we lift our eyes to the night sky, the paradox deepens. We are tiny, fragile, and yet we imagine ourselves architects of destiny. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey, not just across space, but across understanding, to explore not only the universe outside, but the universe inside, the mind, the heart, and the conscience. The question is not only where the universe ends, but how we decode it, how we live within it, and how we allow it to shape us. Because the universe is vast, indifferent, and beautiful, it is governed by patterns that exist, whether we see them or not. Galaxies rotate with a rhythm born of gravity, dark matter, and energy we barely understand. Stars ignite and die, planets form and scatter, comets traverse solar systems. And yet, beneath all this chaos, there is order, a hidden code, a set of rules, constants, and relationships that holds everything together. Physics is its language, mathematics is its grammar, and from that code emerges not only galaxies and atoms, but the possibility of life, thought, and consciousness. Consider gravity. Invisible, relentless, yet precise. It binds galaxies, keeps planets in orbit, tethers us to the surface of our own world. It is both a constraint and a canvas. Without gravity, matter would never clump into stars. Without it, we could not stand. And yet, every step we take, every bridge we build, every satellite we launch is an act of dialogue with gravity, learning its language, negotiating its rules, turning constraint into possibility. And then there is time. Time flows in one direction, a river we cannot swim upstream. Yet through that river, we find patterns, the rotation of the earth, the cycles of seasons, the rise and fall of civilizations. We measured in seconds, years, and centuries, yet its scale is cosmic. One human lifetime is a flicker compared to the 13.8 billion years of the universe's history, and yet, in that flicker, we have sent machines beyond the solar system, decoded the building blocks of life, and glimpsed the light from the earliest stars. In other words, our species is brief, but capable of understanding something eternal. The universe communicates in patterns, and if we pay attention, it teaches us about ourselves. The same physical laws that form galaxies also form our neurons. The chemistry that makes stars shine also makes our blood red. We are not separate from the universe. We are made from its code. We are both interpreters and products of the same hidden logic that orders planets and particles alike. And that, perhaps, is the first lesson. The universe is intelligible. It can be understood. But understanding demands humility. Every discovery we make reveals 1,000 more questions. Every telescope, every particle collider, every genome sequencer expands not just knowledge, but mystery. And in that tension between what we know and what we do not is the beauty of human curiosity. Take light, for example. Light travels across unimaginable distances, carrying with it the history of the cosmos. A star that died millions of years ago still sends photons to our eyes today. The universe is, in a sense, a storyteller, and we are its audience. By decoding the signals that arrive, we learn about stars, planets, black holes, and cosmic evolution. But if we listen closely, we also learn about ourselves, how small we are, how fleeting, and how precious our moments of consciousness truly are. And yet, we are not merely passive observers. We are participants. Our telescopes, our experiments, our art, and our philosophy are extensions of the universe's own unfolding. In observing the cosmos, we reflect the universe back upon itself. We take its hidden code and translate it into understanding, into civilization, into culture. In a sense, the universe learns about itself through us. Which brings me to the second lesson. Everything is connected. Gravity links stars, magnetic fields link planets, DNA links every living organism. And humans, for all our differences, are part of that network too. When we pollute a river in one corner of the world, we affect oceans elsewhere. When we cut down forests, we change climates across continents. Our understanding of physics, chemistry, and biology reminds us that the universe is not a collection of isolated phenomena. It is a web, a system, a whole, and our place within it is not incidental. Now, if the universe has a code, does that mean it has purpose? Not in the human sense. Stars do not burn to teach us humility. Black holes do not devour to punish us. The universe operates according to its own rules, indifferent to desire, hope, or fear. Yet in our consciousness, we find purpose. We are the part of the cosmos that can reflect, that can choose, that can care, and that capacity is astonishing. It is the code within the code, the emergence of morality, curiosity, and wonder from raw physics and chemistry. But here lies the paradox. Our technological power grows faster than our moral and ecological wisdom. We can alter atoms, clone genes, terraform landscapes, and probe distant planets, yet we still fail to address hunger, inequality, and environmental collapse at home. The same species that can predict solar flares can also ignore rising seas. The same species that sends rovers to Mars can leave millions without clean water. The question is no longer whether we can reach the stars. The question is whether we deserve to. Which brings us to responsibility. Cosmic knowledge is a gift, but gifts come with obligations. Every insight we gain about the universe should illuminate our duties to each other, to future generations, and to the planet that gave rise to us. A species capable of decoding the cosmos must also learn to decode its own ethics. Understanding the hidden code is meaningless if we cannot translate it into stewardship. And yet, there is hope. Because as vast as the universe is, as indifferent as it may seem, we are capable of transformation. We have learned to harness electricity, cure diseases, and create art. We have mapped the genome, sequenced the brain, and glimpsed the origin of stars. And now, as we gaze outward, we can apply those lessons inward toward our societies, our cultures, our shared planet. Consider the space programs of the 20th century. The moon landing was not merely a technological feat, it was a revelation of perspective. Viewing Earth from orbit transformed our understanding of fragility and interconnectedness. Borders blurred, conflicts seemed petty. The planet appeared as a singular, precious oasis, suspended in darkness. That overview effect is more than an astronaut's sensation. It is a lesson encoded in our biology and imagination. The universe has the power to humble us and, in humility, to inspire responsibility. We are now at a similar threshold. Telescopes can image planets orbiting distant stars. Probes can travel beyond the solar system. We can model climate systems, predict earthquakes, and sequence entire ecosystems. The hidden code of the universe is within our grasp. But with that grasp comes a challenge: to act ethically, to connect globally, to steward intelligently, to become the species that not only explores but protects, not only discovers but understands, not only inhabits but nurtures. Because the universe does not reward speed, ambition, or conquest, it rewards comprehension. It rewards the species that learns to live in harmony with the patterns it discovers. That species thrives not because it dominates, but because it aligns itself with the hidden code. And that alignment begins at home, on Earth, in every choice we make about energy, consumption, compassion, and care. When we look to the stars, we see possibilities: exoplanets, cosmic oceans, nebulae of unimaginable color and scale. They are invitations to expand not only our presence, but our consciousness. The challenge is not only to reach those worlds, but to carry the lessons of Earth with us, to avoid repeating mistakes on new planets, to become custodians, storytellers, and wise stewards. Imagine, centuries from now, human colonies under alien skies, cities under domes, ecosystems carefully managed, children learning the constellations of foreign suns. They will inherit not only technology, but the ethical DNA we leave behind. Will they inherit wisdom or hubris? Will they thrive because we learn from our mistakes, or falter because we ignored them. That inheritance rests entirely on us. And so the hidden code that holds the universe together is also, in a sense, a mirror. It is a reflection of our capacity for understanding, for connection, for care. It is a pattern that demands participation, consciousness, and responsibility. The universe is intelligible, but only if we ourselves rise to the level of comprehension it requires. Tonight, I ask you to look at the stars not only with wonder, but with reflection. Let the physics, the chemistry, the cosmic scale of time and space remind you of both your fragility and your power. Let it remind you that you are made of the same elements as distant suns, that your consciousness emerges from the same rules that shape galaxies, that your life is part of a code written across 13.8 billion years. And then ask yourself, what will you do with that knowledge? How will you live with awareness? How will you act with responsibility? How will you ensure that the species capable of understanding the universe also deserves to inhabit it? Because the final revelation is this: the universe does not merely await our exploration, it awaits our maturity. It awaits a species capable of empathy, stewardship, and wisdom. It awaits humans who can translate knowledge into care, curiosity into compassion, and wonder into responsible action. The hidden code is not only in the stars, the particles, or the equations. It is in us. And if we can read it, honor it, and live by it, then anywhere we go, Earth, Mars, a distant exoplanet, we will not simply survive. We will thrive. We will belong. We will be home. And that, my friends, is the ultimate lesson. The code that holds the universe together is also the code that holds us together with each other, with life, and with the cosmos itself. The universe is vast, indifferent, and magnificent. But within its hidden code lies a question and an invitation: who will we become when we finally understand it? And if we answer wisely, we will become not conquerors, but caretakers, not invaders, but witnesses, not simply explorers, but participants in the grandest story ever told, the story of life, learning to know itself across time, space, and the infinite reaches of the cosmos. Because the universe is intelligible, and so are we. And yet, even as we contemplate the grandeur of galaxies and the rhythm of quasars, we must return our gaze to Earth. For this tiny blue planet is our first proof that the universe can sustain life. Every tree, every river, every living cell is evidence of an intricate code that spans physics, chemistry, and biology, a code that has persisted for 4.5 billion years. And it is here, in the cradle of life, that our species has learned both its potential and its limits. Look closely at the patterns that sustain life. The water cycle moves unseen rivers from oceans to clouds to soil. Photosynthesis converts light into food, sustaining ecosystems in endless feedback loops. Carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, they flow through soils, oceans, and atmosphere in cycles perfected over eons. Life is not chaos. It is code made visible, functioning at scales both microscopic and global. And humans are now an active part of that system. We intervene intentionally or accidentally in processes that took billions of years to stabilize. That is both power and responsibility. We have begun to read the universe in ways our ancestors could only dream of. We can detect gravitational waves rippling across space-time. We can map the chemical composition of exoplanet atmospheres. We can simulate planetary climates, model galaxy formation, and sequence entire ecosystems. And yet, with all that knowledge, the deeper question remains: do we understand the moral code as well as the physical one? Do we know how to live in harmony with the systems that make life possible? Because the universe is impartial, but consequences are real. A single misstep, whether in climate policy, nuclear stewardship, or ecosystem management, can ripple across centuries. The same physics that allows a spacecraft to orbit Mars also ensures that a warming planet can trigger irreversible feedback loops. The same chemistry that sustains life can also poison it if mismanaged. Knowledge is potent, but without wisdom, it is incomplete. And that is why exploration, curiosity, and discovery must be married to ethics. When we reach for distant worlds, we are not only testing our technological limits, we are testing the depth of our empathy, the breadth of our foresight, and the integrity of our stewardship. Space is vast, but human morality is the frontier we must master first. Now, imagine humanity sending its first seeds of life beyond Earth, not humans, but technology, microbial consortia, and engineered ecosystems designed to survive in alien environments. These first emissaries will carry not only DNA and steel, but the imprint of our values. They are ambassadors of Earth. And how they interact with the cosmos, how carefully they are placed, how ethically they are managed, will reflect on us, on the species that designed them. Consider Mars, our closest laboratory beyond Earth. Its thin atmosphere, toxic soils, and extreme temperatures challenge every assumption about habitability. To survive there, humans must live inside domes, recycle every molecule of air and water, engineer ecosystems that mimic Earth's complexity, and sustain cultures that endure isolation, monotony, and risk. Mars is not merely a test of engineering, it is a test of civilization. Can we organize, cooperate, and care for life beyond our natural home? Can we expand our empathy to a world that is alien, inhospitable, yet full of potential? And beyond Mars lie exoplanets orbiting distant suns. Worlds with gravity, atmospheres, and climates we cannot fully predict. Stars that flare unpredictably, planets that rotate erratically, ecosystems we cannot yet imagine. To reach them will require decades or centuries of travel, generational ships, cryosleep, or breakthroughs in propulsion. But the greatest challenge is not distance, it is the endurance of our values across time. Can we carry our wisdom, our ethics, our stewardship into the centuries-long voyage and the alien worlds awaiting us? Because civilization is fragile. It can collapse under environmental strain, social discord, or moral failure. The universe does not forgive hubris. The laws of physics and chemistry remain indifferent to our intentions. But if we cultivate patience, foresight, and compassion, the universe becomes not a threat, but a collaborator. It provides patterns, constants, and opportunities, and it rewards careful, intelligent engagement. And so, the hidden code that holds the universe together is mirrored in the code that must hold humanity together: awareness, responsibility, cooperation, and wisdom. Our physics may dictate orbits, our chemistry may dictate metabolism, but our ethics dictate whether we survive, thrive, and carry life into the cosmos. I want you to picture the first children born on Mars, or a distant exoplanet. They will not remember Earth firsthand, yet they will inherit its history, its culture, its lessons, the ecosystems they build, the cities they construct, the social contracts they develop will reflect what we choose to teach them now. Will they inherit a species capable of cooperation, foresight, and care? Or a species still chained to greed, short-sightedness, and division? The answer rests in the choices we make today. And that is why cosmic exploration is inseparable from personal and planetary responsibility. It is not enough to launch rockets or decode genomes. We must also decode ourselves. We must ask, what kind of species are we becoming? What legacy do we want to carry across the stars? How will we honor the fragile, miraculous code that gave rise to life? Because here's the ultimate truth. The universe does not need another conqueror, another exploiter, or another species that mistakes power for wisdom. The universe needs caretakers, witnesses, and participants who can translate understanding into empathy, insight into stewardship, and curiosity into responsibility. It waits for us not to dominate, but to mature. And maturity is not measured in technology alone, it is measured in humility, in foresight, in the capacity to extend compassion across distance and time, in the ability to understand that every choice, from planting a forest to launching a probe, reverberates across systems both seen and unseen. The fifth dimension, the dimension beyond matter, time, and energy, is revealed not in numbers or equations, but in awareness. Awareness that our lives are linked to ecosystems, civilizations, and stars. Awareness that the decisions we make echo across generations. Awareness that the same universe that gave rise to us also demands our care. And so, as we step forward into the stars, as we engineer habitats on Mars, send probes to exoplanets, and design ecosystems where none existed, let us do so with a conscience. Let us carry Earth with us not as a relic, but as a living moral guide. Let us create cultures, societies, and technologies that reflect the intelligence and empathy that allowed us to understand the universe in the first place. Because the final revelation is this: the hidden code that holds the universe together is also the code that holds life together. It is mathematics, physics, and chemistry, but is also morality, curiosity, and stewardship. And if we can learn to read it, to honor it, and to live by it, then wherever humanity goes, we will not simply survive, we will thrive. We will belong, we will be home. And in the end, that is the true wonder of the universe. Not just its stars, its planets, its galaxies, but the part of it that awakens within us. The part of it that allows us to imagine, to care, and to act responsibly. The universe is vast, indifferent, and magnificent. But if we embrace its hidden code, we become more than observers. We become participants. We become stewards. We become conscious collaborators in the greatest story ever told, the story of life learning to know itself across time, space, and the infinite reaches of the cosmos. And when we finally understand that, the stars themselves will not be distant. They will be mirrors. They will be reminders of what we are capable of and what we must become. The hidden code is revealed. And if we honor it, we will finally be home, not just on Earth, but anywhere we choose to reach. And yet, as we dream of alien skies, it is worth remembering that the cosmos we chase is made of the same elements that make us. Iron in our blood was forged in the hearts of ancient stars. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, the building blocks of life, were scattered across the galaxy long before our sun ignited. We are children of exploding stars, products of cosmic evolution, intimately connected to everything we observe. To reach for the stars is, in a sense, to reach for ourselves. And what do we seek in that reach? Adventure, knowledge, survival, or perhaps something deeper? Understanding of what it means to belong, because the universe, for all its scale and complexity, offers no guarantees. No cosmic hand will guide us. No star will bend to our desires. Yet within that impartiality lies a profound opportunity, the chance to become a species that does not merely inhabit the universe, but respects it, learns from it, and participates in its unfolding with wisdom. Consider the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. Our magnetic field shields us from cosmic radiation. Our atmosphere moderates temperatures, filters ultraviolet rays, and sustains the water cycle. Plate tectonics recycle nutrients. Volcanic activity shapes landscapes, and oceans circulate heat across the globe. Life evolved within these constraints, adapting, thriving, and co-evolving with the planet. To colonize another world, Mars, a moon of Jupiter, or an exoplanet orbiting a distant star, we must replicate or respect these systems. We must understand them intimately. And more than that, we must learn to live within limits. Mars, the most tangible next step, illustrates this beautifully. Its surface is harsh, its air thin, its soil laced with toxic chemicals. And yet, it offers hope, a laboratory for ingenuity, resilience, and ethical exploration. The first settlers will not simply survive, they will create ecosystems under domes, recycle water with perfect efficiency, grow food where none existed, and forge social bonds that endure isolation and monotony. Every decision will matter: what seeds to plant, what microbes to introduce, what ethical frameworks to adopt. Mars will test not only engineering skill, but civilization itself. And beyond Mars lie worlds we can scarcely imagine. TRAPPIST. Once 7 planets orbit a cool star just 40 light-years away, each one a laboratory of possibility and risk. Kepler 452b, orbiting a sun-like star over 1,000 light-years distant, challenges our imagination with its potential for oceans, seasons, perhaps even life. To reach them requires propulsion, life support, and courage. Yes, but more than that, it requires foresight, patience, and ethical clarity across generations. We may send ships that carry children who will never see Earth, yet inherit its stories, lessons, and moral obligations. because the journey outward is inseparable from the journey inward. Space exploration is a test not only of technology, but of empathy, cooperation, and foresight. Can we organize across cultures, nations, and centuries to ensure survival and flourishing? Can we extend care to life we encounter, whether alien or engineered by our own hands? Can we balance curiosity with restraint, ambition with humility, invention with stewardship? These are the questions no telescope or rocket can answer. They demand the evolution of civilization itself. And here lies the profound opportunity. The same curiosity that drives us to understand distant stars can teach us to understand ourselves. The laws of physics that shape galaxies are mirrored in the patterns of human society. Energy flows, feedback loops, and systemic stability exist in ecosystems, economies, and civilizations alike. If we mismanage these patterns, collapse is inevitable. But if we learn their logic, if we act in harmony with them, we can achieve resilience, sustainability, and growth. The hidden code is revealed not only in science, but in ethics, in cooperation, patience, foresight, and empathy, in choosing to leave a legacy worth carrying across centuries and light years, in understanding that the stars are not prizes to claim, but teachers to honor. Imagine, centuries from now, human settlements under alien skies, cities beneath domes, powered by solar arrays and fusion plants, carefully calibrated ecosystems sustaining life, culture, and art. Children born under foreign suns learn the constellations not from Earth, but from the worlds we dare to touch. And yet, they carry Earth in their stories, their ethics, and their understanding. They inherit not only technology, but wisdom. The realization that exploration without empathy is empty, and that every action has consequences that span generations. In that moment, humanity will understand something essential. Home is not a place. It is a relationship. It is a covenant with life, with the past, and with the future. It is the commitment to act with awareness, responsibility, and integrity, not because the universe demands it, but because life itself deserves it. And so the fifth dimension, the dimension of awareness, responsibility, and truth, is revealed, not measured in light years, not in atoms, not in equations, but in choices. Choices that echo across ecosystems, generations, and planets. Choices that determine whether we thrive or falter, whether life flourishes or withers. The universe is patient, indifferent, magnificent, but it watches, in a sense, through the consequences it permits. Gravity, radiation, cosmic cycles, they judge no one, but they allow life only for those who can navigate its rules with wisdom. And humanity, in this pivotal moment, has the chance to rise to that challenge. Because the stars are not just distant points of light, they are mirrors. They reflect not only our curiosity, but our conscience. They ask not merely, how far can you reach, but how responsibly can you act when you do? How well can you carry the lessons of Earth into worlds that demand our best selves? How gracefully can we step into the role of caretakers, witnesses, and participants in the cosmos? And if we answer wisely, generations from now, a child on a distant world will look up at an alien sky and know we were worthy. We were not perfect, we were not infallible, but we were conscious. We were responsible. We were human. And that, my friends, is the ultimate revelation of the hidden code. It is written not only in physics and chemistry, but in ethics, empathy, and awareness. It is the code that allows us to belong to the universe, and the code that allows life to flourish. The universe is vast, it is indifferent, it is magnificent. But if we honor the code it reveals, if we act with responsibility and care, then anywhere humanity goes, Earth, Mars, Kepler 452b, or TRAPPIST-1, the answer to the question, are we home, will be yes. Yes, we are home not because the stars bend to us, but because we have learned to bend ourselves toward life, toward wisdom, and toward each other. And in that realization, the universe is no longer distant. It is intimate. It is our teacher. It is our mirror. And it is, at last, the canvas upon which we can paint the story of a species worthy of the stars. And as we imagine this future among the stars, we must remember that exploration is inseparable from reflection. Every step beyond Earth's atmosphere is also a step inward toward understanding ourselves. Because the universe does not merely present new worlds, it reveals the contours of our own consciousness. The laws of physics, the hidden code of matter and energy, mirror the patterns we must learn to navigate in society, in ethics, and in the stewardship of life itself. Take the flow of energy, for example. In stars, fusion converts hydrogen into helium, releasing light and heat that sustain entire solar systems. On Earth, the sun powers photosynthesis, drives weather, and maintains climates. Energy flows, transforms, cycles, and any disruption can ripple outward in ways both subtle and catastrophic. Human society mirrors this. Our economies, ecosystems, and social systems rely on flows of information, resources, and cooperation. Mismanagement in one place cascades globally, and yet, unlike stars, we have awareness. Unlike a sun, we can reflect, we can choose, which brings us to the ultimate frontier: responsibility. We are the only known species capable of understanding the universe at multiple scales, from quarks to quasars, from neurons to nebulae. That is a gift. That is power. And like all power, it comes with obligation. To explore the stars without understanding ourselves is hubris. To seek life elsewhere without nurturing life at home is folly. The universe does not reward ambition alone, it rewards wisdom. Imagine the first humans stepping onto Martian soil. The sky is pale pink. The horizon stretches endlessly. Dust storms curl like silent waves, and the gravity presses lighter on your body than Earth ever did. Every breath is measured, every drop of water precious, every action consequential. The settlers will live not just in domes, but within the laws of physics and ethics intertwined. Every ecosystem engineered carefully, every social contract deliberate, every act of stewardship conscious. Mars will teach what Earth often forgot, that survival depends not on conquest, but on harmony, adaptation, and care. Beyond Mars, consider exoplanets orbiting distant stars. Worlds like Kepler 452b or the TRAPPIST one-planet's orbit suns we will only reach in centuries. And yet, we are already beginning to read their surfaces through telescopes, their atmospheres through spectra, their possibilities through models. We prepare not just with rockets and AI, but with imagination and foresight. Because reaching those worlds requires more than propulsion. It requires patience, ethical continuity, and cultural resilience across generations. A colony traveling hundreds of years may outlive the civilization that built the ship. Its survival will depend not on hardware alone, but on the endurance of principles, stories, and values. And that is the cosmic test. Can a species extend care beyond immediate needs? Beyond one lifetime? Beyond one planet? Can we encode empathy into our technology, foresight into our institutions, and ethics into our exploration? This is the question the universe poses. And in answering it, we become participants in the hidden code that governs not just matter, but life itself. Because the universe is intelligible, we can read its patterns, predict its behavior, even manipulate its laws through technology. But it is not moral. It does not reward courage alone, nor intelligence alone, nor ambition alone. It rewards alignment with patterns, with laws, with limits. And now, as conscious beings, it also rewards alignment with ethics, empathy, and stewardship. The fifth dimension, the hidden layer of existence beyond matter, energy, and time, is awareness. Awareness that every decision, what we consume, what we protect, what we teach echoes across systems and generations. Awareness that to reach the stars responsibly, we must first reach maturity here on Earth, within ourselves. Awareness that exploration without reflection is emptiness, but exploration with wisdom is transcendence. And so I ask you to envision the children who will inherit these new worlds, not the explorers, not the engineers, but the citizens, the dreamers, the thinkers, the stewards of ecosystems, both engineered and natural. They will grow up under alien suns, in habitats carefully balanced, ecosystems precisely tuned, And they will inherit not only the science and technology we pass down, but the moral scaffolding we construct today. Will they inherit wisdom or hubris? Will they thrive or repeat mistakes that Earth endured? That legacy is ours to shape. The universe is vast, indifferent, and magnificent. But within its indifference lies opportunity. The opportunity to become a species worthy of consciousness itself. A species capable of curiosity tempered with humility, of ambition balanced with empathy, of innovation guided by wisdom. The hidden code is not only in stars, atoms, or equations, it is in the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the lives we cultivate. And finally, imagine that distant moment, perhaps centuries from now, when humanity truly belongs among the stars. Children look up at alien skies and see constellations unknown to Earth. Cities breathe and hum with life under domes and habitats, ecosystems thrive, art and music flourish. And yet, these children know the stories of Earth, its oceans, forests, mountains and deserts, its triumphs and failures, its lessons in patience, stewardship, and care. They understand something profound. Home is not a location, it is not a planet, a continent, or a city. Home is the relationship we cultivate with life, with time, with consciousness itself. Home is awareness, home is responsibility, home is love extended across the cosmos. The universe does not hand out fresh starts. It presents cycles, challenges, opportunities disguised as repetition. And every world we touch is a test not of how far we can go, but of how well we can carry wisdom, empathy, and care across light years and generations. The hidden code is revealed. It is mathematics, physics, and chemistry, but it is also ethics, empathy, and stewardship. It is the code that allows us to belong to the universe, to nurture life, and to participate consciously in creation itself. The stars await, but they are patient. They wait not for ambition, but for responsibility. They wait not for power, but for wisdom. And if we honor that call, then humanity will not merely explore the cosmos, we will belong to it, care for it, and ensure that life, in all its fragile beauty, endures. The fifth dimension is revealed: awareness, responsibility, truth. And if we carry that within us, wherever we go, Earth, Mars, or the farthest exoplanet, we will finally be home. And as we contemplate our future among the stars, we must remember that exploration is inseparable from reflection. The same curiosity that drives us to peer at distant galaxies can illuminate the patterns of our own civilization, the flows of energy, the cycles of resources, the rhythms of societies. The universe, in its vast impartiality, teaches us that every system, physical or social, functions according to rules, constraints, and balances. Ignore them, and collapse is inevitable. Align with them, and possibility emerges. Think of the earliest navigators who charted the seas. They studied currents, wind patterns, and celestial positions. Their survival depended not on conquest, but on understanding and adapting to the systems around them. In a cosmic sense, we are on the same journey, but on a scale that dwarfs anything before. The currents are stellar winds, the maps are spectra and gravitational models, and the oceans are interstellar space. Yet, the principle remains. Knowledge is survival, and understanding is responsibility. The hidden code that holds the universe together, the interplay of gravity, energy, time, and matter, is mirrored in the code that sustains civilization: cooperation, foresight, empathy, and stewardship. The stars do not dictate morality, yet morality is the lens through which intelligence can flourish. The challenge of space is not merely engineering, it is ethical, social, and philosophical. Can we sustain life where none naturally exists? Can we preserve ecosystems, nurture culture, and maintain moral integrity across centuries-long journeys? Can we extend care to distant generations and alien worlds with the same dedication we owe to ourselves? Mars illustrates this challenge beautifully. Its rusted deserts, thin atmosphere, and polar ice caps are both an invitation and a warning. To survive there, humans must live in harmony with physics, biology, and social systems intertwined. Domes will recreate atmospheres. Habitats will recycle every molecule of water. Food production must mimic Earth cycles, and every social structure must endure isolation, monotony, and psychological strain. Mars is not just a technological challenge, it is a civilizational one. It asks us to demonstrate the maturity that our species has often lacked on Earth. And beyond Mars lie planets we can scarcely imagine. Worlds orbiting red dwarfs, sun-like stars, and binary systems, each with climates, gravities, and chemical compositions that challenge our understanding. Some may harbor water, some may harbor life. To reach them requires not only propulsion and life support, but generational vision. Children born on these journeys may never see Earth. They will inherit not only the technology we build, but the moral scaffolding, the social contracts, and the stories of stewardship that we leave behind. Our legacy becomes tangible in their capacity to survive, thrive, and care. Here lies the profound insight. Exploration without reflection is empty. Discovery without empathy is dangerous. Knowledge without responsibility is meaningless. The universe may not judge, but consequences are real. Radiation strips atmospheres, gravity crushes, ecosystems collapse. And human actions echo across time and space. The hidden code demands not just intellect, but consciousness. Not just curiosity, but conscience. This is the fifth dimension, the dimension beyond matter, energy, and time. It is awareness. Awareness that every action, from planting a forest to designing a spaceship, reverberates across systems both seen and unseen. Awareness that survival depends not on domination, but on alignment with the patterns that sustain life. Awareness that to explore responsibly is to honor the code that created us. Imagine, centuries from now, human settlements under alien suns, cities beneath domes hum with life, ecosystems thrive in carefully engineered balance. Children play beneath skies they have never known on Earth. And yet, they carry its memory and stories, ethics, and knowledge. They inherit a species that has learned not just to survive, but to belong, to care, to steward. They understand something profound. Home is not a location. Home is the relationship we cultivate with life, with time, with consciousness itself. And so, the final lesson of the hidden code is revealed. The universe does not merely await our exploration, it awaits our maturity. It awaits a species capable of curiosity tempered by humility, ambition guided by ethics, and imagination balanced with responsibility. Only then does the cosmos transform from a backdrop into a classroom, a partner, and a mirror. The fifth dimension is revealed. Awareness, responsibility, truth, and if we carry that code within us, wherever humanity goes, Earth, Mars, or distant exoplanets, we will finally be home. Because the universe is vast, indifferent, and magnificent. But consciousness, when guided by wisdom, turns that indifference into opportunity. The stars are not just distant lights, they are reflections of our potential. They ask, how far will we reach, and how wisely? How will we care? How will we steward? How will we leave a legacy that endures? And in that challenge lies hope. Because if we rise to it, we do not simply survive, we thrive. We do not merely explore, we belong. We do not merely witness, we participate in the greatest story ever told. The story of life learning to know itself across time, space, and the infinite reaches of the cosmos. And when we finally understand that, the stars themselves will not be distant. They will be mirrors. They will be reminders of what we are capable of and what we must become. And as we imagine humanity among the stars, we must recognize that our journey outward is also a journey inward. The cosmos is not merely a destination, it is a mirror. Every planet we chart, every star we map, every black hole we measure reflects our own consciousness back at us. The laws of physics are impartial, yet they reveal our capacity for understanding. Gravity does not bend to desire, but it teaches precision. Time flows regardless of intention, yet it reveals the necessity of foresight. Energy is indifferent, yet it allows creation, sustenance, and transformation. In every sense, the universe is a classroom, and we are both students and teachers. And like any rigorous lesson, it demands attention, discipline, and humility. The knowledge that stars are born in supernovae, that elements of our own bodies were forged in the hearts of long-dead suns, that the photons arriving in our eyes may have traveled billions of years. This is more than science. It is perspective, it is awe, and it is responsibility because knowledge carries consequences. Every insight, every advance, every technological leap expands not just our power, but our obligation. We may discover worlds that could support life. We may learn to manipulate genomes, terraform landscapes, or harness forces that dwarf those of nature. But if wisdom does not accompany power, we risk repeating the failures that imperil our home planet: exploitation, inequity, neglect, and short-sightedness. Consider Mars again. Its pale deserts, its thin atmosphere, its icy caps are a proving ground for human ingenuity. To inhabit Mars safely requires more than rockets. It requires closed-loop ecosystems, careful psychological preparation, governance that endures isolation, and ethical frameworks that ensure no harm to potential native life, no matter how microscopic. Every decision, what microbes we introduce, what water we recycle, how we manage energy, is a test not only of engineering skill, but of civilization itself. Beyond Mars, the TRAPPIST-1 planets, Kepler 452b, and countless exoplanets orbiting distant suns await humanity's reach. Each world is unique, presenting challenges of gravity, climate, radiation, and chemistry. Some may harbor water, some may harbor life. Each presents an ethical and philosophical question: how do we act as guests in a world we did not create? How do we ensure our presence does not erase possibility, impose harm, or repeat the mistakes we made on Earth? These are not questions of convenience, they are the fundamental tests of our species. They demand not only intellect, but moral maturity. Not only curiosity, but empathy. Not only courage, but foresight. The universe, in its impartiality, presents opportunity, but only responsibility ensures survival. And this is the essence of the fifth dimension. It is not a physical dimension like length or time. It is the dimension of awareness. Awareness that every action echoes across ecosystems, generations, and planets. Awareness that exploration without reflection is empty, and ambition without conscience is dangerous. Awareness that stewardship is not optional, it is the key to belonging, thriving, and being home wherever we go. Imagine centuries from now, cities beneath alien skies, ecosystems thriving in domes, children laughing under suns they have never known on Earth. They inherit not only technology, but morality. They inherit our lessons, our foresight, our responsibility. They inherit the possibility of hope and the burden of legacy. And they will look back at the planet we called home, recognizing it as the birthplace not only of life, but of conscience, ethics, and civilization itself. Because the hidden code that holds the universe together, the laws of matter, energy, and space, is mirrored in the code that sustains life and civilization: cooperation, foresight, empathy, and stewardship. The universe may be indifferent, but it allows intelligence and care to flourish. And humans, with consciousness and awareness, can choose to act as witnesses, caretakers, and participants. The universe does not give out fresh starts. It presents cycles, patterns, and opportunities disguised as repetition. The planets we explore will not forgive neglect. Stars will not yield to ambition alone. Life, in any form we encounter it, deserves respect. And it is only by aligning our knowledge with our ethics, our curiosity with our conscience, that we become worthy of the challenge. So when we finally reach those distant worlds, when we step onto Martian plains or gaze at exoplanets through telescopes, let us do so with humility. Let every action reflect both intelligence and empathy. Let every ecosystem we engineer, every community we build, every decision we make honor not only the worlds we touch, but the planet that taught us to care in the first place. The fifth dimension, the hidden layer of awareness, responsibility, and truth, is revealed in that choice. It is revealed in the recognition that the universe is vast, indifferent, magnificent, yet comprehensible. It is revealed in the realization that humans, small and fragile as we are, have the capacity to align with the cosmos, to participate consciously in its unfolding, and to carry life, wonder, and wisdom forward. And when that understanding is realized, when it is encoded in generations yet unborn, we will finally answer the question that every explorer has asked: are we home? The answer will not be a place. It will be an understanding. it will be a relationship. It will be the conscious, responsible, and empathetic engagement with the universe and life itself. Yes, we are home, not because the stars bend to us, not because distant worlds conform to our will, but because we have learned to bend ourselves toward care, wisdom, and stewardship. Because we have learned that exploration without reflection, ambition without ethics, and curiosity without conscience is meaningless. Because we have carried the lessons of Earth into the cosmos, and in doing so, made the universe not just observable, but participatory. The hidden code is revealed, the fifth dimension is unveiled, awareness, responsibility, truth, and if humanity can carry that code forward, then wherever we go, Earth, Mars, or the farthest exoplanet, we will finally belong. We will finally be home. And so, as we lift our eyes to the stars, let us remember, the universe does not await our arrival, it awaits our maturity. It waits for a species capable of curiosity, tempered with humility, ambition guided by ethics, and imagination balanced with responsibility. It waits for humans who can not only reach for distant worlds, but also carry Earth in their hearts. The hidden code that holds the universe together is not just written in physics or mathematics. It is written in awareness, in responsibility, in the capacity to care. It is in every choice we make, every action we take, every life we nurture. To explore the stars is to test that code within ourselves, to see whether intelligence can coexist with conscience, whether power can be wielded with wisdom, whether curiosity can be guided by compassion. Imagine the first children born under alien suns, running through habitats and ecosystems carefully balanced by the foresight of generations. They will inherit not only technology, but the moral scaffolding we construct today. They will inherit hope and the responsibility to sustain it. And they will understand something profound. Home is not a place, it is a relationship. It is a covenant with life, with time, and with the universe itself. And so, the question is no longer only whether we can survive among the stars. It is whether we can thrive responsibly, whether we can belong with grace, whether we can honor the fragile miracle that gave rise to us. The fifth dimension, the dimension of awareness, responsibility, and truth is revealed. And if we carry it within us, then wherever humanity goes, Earth, Mars, or the farthest exoplanet, we will not merely exist. We will belong, we will nurture, we will honor. We will finally be home